a favor del Real.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the VAR Check Podcast, episode 6. Can you believe it is episode 6 already? The podcast, obviously, where football's biggest debates go under review.
The damn Madrid fan is
boys,
doing
boys,
this
boys.
constantly.
That little smile as they do that.
That's my favorite thing that you do. It's the best intro ever.
What
gotta
a
get the-
time to be alive. This episode I'm really excited for because we all know the biggest moment for this YouTube channel is El Clasico, and that is the two of the biggest weekends for us every calendar year. And in this episode will consist of a big preview for El Clasico. So I'm very excited to be here for this episode. Guys, if you're just now starting to join, make sure you hit that like button. That way we can get this episode 6, to more people. Let's have a lot of engagement. Just like last episode, we had a phenomenal time. Today's episode topics include La Liga, what happened in Matchday 9, a lot of controversy. Yes. We're going to get straight to it. And that will lead us straight into a Clasico preview before jumping into Matchday 3 of the Champions League. There are some games coming up this Tuesday and this Wednesday. And last but not least, updating our power rankings, which will definitely come with some more movement. So all topics that we're going to want to hear from you guys. And we're just excited for it all. All right, guys, you guys know how we're going to get started. Let's hear your headlines. Amir, starting with you.
I'm just going to say, great win, but shaky. That's my headline for Barça.
Definitely shaky.
All right,
Ricardito?
back at it again. 3 points with the help from the referee.
You're talking about Barça, right?
We'll talk about that. We'll see.
Sure.
Mitchell, what you got for us?
Hala Madrid, but ... Is Madrid too reliant on Mbappe?
It's a topic. Though, that we're going to talk about when we get to El Clasico segment. I already have it highlighted. And potentially we'll see. And for me, Vini, I want to see you dance next weekend. If you play like this, I know we're going to beat Barcelona. All right, guys. What a match day 9. I want to start off right away with the juiciest thing, because I know Ricardito has been keeping this, has been having this fire since Sunday night. This fire inside of him, fuming, ready to give us his thoughts on a little event that happened when Real Madrid was playing Getafe. The game was very, very tight, still 0-0. It was looking like Real Madrid was not going to break the deadlock. Getafe was playing one of the best defensive games I've seen La Liga teams play this season. And I told Ricky it's going to come down to one big mistake. And the moment the man himself, Neom, got subbed in within minutes, receives the red card. Ricky, tell us your thoughts before we open it up to Michel and Amir.
Honestly, you summed it up pretty well. In my opinion, I did not see Real Madrid finding gaps in that Getafe team up until the referee went ahead and gifted them a free red card to Getafe to help Real Madrid. Let me pull up some pictures real quick before I just a little to show something. So let me get out of the way here. So
it's in your background.
I don't even know my fingers. Like about 2 yards away. Neom already has his hand up. Vini's 2 yards away. How is that a red card? A red card is like he's calling like a clear aggression. That's a punch. That's not a punch. You're not punching someone if your hand's already up from two yards away. No. And that's just frustrating because, like, sure, Vini was making the run. Neom obviously got subbed in to get more hits at Vini. We all know that. I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that it's not a foul. It is a foul, obviously, but it's a yellow card. It is not a red card. It is his first time touching Vini, and how can you possibly give him a red card? You go back and you watch that live reaction, you're just as shocked as I was. It should never have been a red card. So, like, what? Yeah, go ahead.
First, before I open, I'm gonna swing over to Michel next. But guys, there's 10 people currently watching live, and I want to hear every single one of your comments about this topic because I've already been reading them in the video that we posted, the live reaction. So I already know what some of the people's comments and beliefs are on this. But while we wait for those comments to come in, Michel, what do you think?
Well, you said it was going to come down to a mistake, and you're correct. A mistake from the referee. And I've always said at the end of the day, we know I'm Madrid, a la Madrid. But I've always said I was going to be fair and I was going to be true. That way, whenever I say anything, you can at least give me the benefit of the doubt, knowing that I'm not just coming from a biased standpoint, right? It was 100% not a red card. But I think what came into play with this game is residual feelings from the Barça game, what they did to Lewandowski, and how much the league came in, or like the drama came into an uproar with the refereeing and all this case. So do I think it's a red card? Absolutely not. I think they took an extra look at it because, and I think you said this in your live reaction, it's an off the ball, unnecessary challenge to the head area. And I agree with Ricky. His arm was already up. Vini does run into it. He makes the most of it. I think they should have checked it. And I'm surprised that they didn't, to be honest, because I think every goal and every red card should be checked. But that's just kind of what we've been saying for the last few weeks. Like, what is the refereeing happening? Like, what's going on in Spain? Like, I feel like they apply rules and then sometimes they don't use them. Like, at least in the EPL, good or bad, they're consistent in what they do. La Liga's refereeing is like, for Barça, and then like it gets taken away, and then for Madrid, and then it gets taken away, and like it doesn't make any sense. So I don't think that it was a red card. I think he was stupid for doing that 30 seconds into him getting onto the field. Like, why would you even give the referee that opportunity? And I know we'll get to it later, but the second red card was absolutely a red card. You can't do that. By the time
we're not even going to talk about that one.
Yeah. But no, I don't think that was a red card. And Madrid struggled. And again, this is kind of what I was saying, that we're very reliant on Mbappe scoring, but we take what we can get, and it's 3 points. It's ugly, and we keep it moving.
Here we have our first couple comments coming in. Seco Mark, which, by the way, I don't. Okay, here we go. Hold on. First, let's back it up real quick. Seco Mark, first of all, thank you for your comment. I love your reaction videos. Big Barça fan here. I hate how Barça are playing lately. We'll talk about that a little more when we get to the El Clasico preview section of the podcast. But welcome to the episode. He says it's a clear yellow card here. Next one up, Adam CR7, red card. What else do you want Neon to do? Kill Vini and then get the red card.
I wouldn't mind that. No.
It was a clear red because Vini never had had ball that moment. You can't make challenges football, not UFC. Dude, I mean, he does clothesline him a little bit. The thing is the foul is, I mean, we can go back to the picture, whatever. We've had the picture up. One day we will all agree the center refereeing in this league is not a dog shit. I think we already do agree on this point. Amir, what do you think?
I may have misunderstood when I was watching the game because I was watching it with Spanish commentary, and they said the reason he got the red card was because he left it there. Like when Vinny changed his direction, the defender just kind of stayed there, and that was the main reason why they didn't even overrule it. The refereeing has been atrocious. Yeah, it was a clear yellow in my opinion. Also, I can't see why it could be a red. I don't think it was a red. But yeah, I mean, just garbage refereeing all across La Liga. Like any game I watch, I'm just like, what the hell are you doing? But
Yeah.
I want to address the thing where it's like it's off the ball. Obviously, it's off the ball, but I think it still pertains within the plate. Vinicius is making a clear run, right?
Right.
So he's going to stop that run. Like he's obviously still part of the play. Sure, the ball is, you know, who knows how many meters, yards away, but he is still part of the play. So it's not like he's just randomly talking and goes and punches him. No, it's still within the action. So I like, sure, it's not on the ball, but to me that's irrelevant in this case.
I mean,
I think he's trying to stop that run.
It's also the first play he had. He didn't even touch the ball. He came on the field, got a red card, then went off.
Got a red card and walked
Dude,
out.
like that's crazy.
Yeah,
I'll
he
say
had
this.
0 warnings.
Like the moment Vinicius came on the field, obviously all the Getafe players went and targeted him because they know he's hot-headed, and it was, you know, they were, I don't even know what they were saying, but they would not stop talking to him. And yes, they fouled Vinicius at least 10 times. So I understand the perspective that the referee was trying to protect Vini. I think that's a good thing in general. However, let's be honest, I have never seen a call like this in my whole history of watching the sport. The first challenge, and it's not even that aggressive of a challenge. Sure, I can't remember the guy's name. The guy that Neom came in for. Like, had he done this, sure. Yeah, Kiko Femenia. Had he done this, sure, send him off, right? But this is Neom's first time touching Vini. You cannot send him off for that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna leave it in my initial reaction, which was of shock. I was not asking for a red card when I directly saw it. So that was obviously my innate reaction to it. Do I think it was maybe like borderline red, like orange? I think okay, sure. Maybe. But was ultimately red card harsh? Yes. I think one of the biggest things that we want out of a referee is for them to not we don't want their decisions, we don't want them to be discussed, right? We don't want their decisions to influence games. And this decision directly influenced the game when it did not necessarily have to be made. I think if he would have given a yellow card, I don't think any of us would necessarily be out here even talking about this. Like, oh, can you believe like he extended his arm, he also like fouled him, and he didn't even get a red card. I just think the pure reason why we're talking about this topic is because he did give that red card, and it literally influenced the game after a minute. Like Mbappe literally scored within the minute, which is what made all of this very, very controversial. Let's see here. I mean, I know Adam CR7 is very heavy on the it was a red card. If Neom grabbed him, it's already yellow. Can't be given because he just wanted to stop Vini's run. But you know he kicked him and punched him, bro. The thing is, I don't know if I wouldn't agree with you that he actually punched him. I mean, I do think he did obstruct his run, like this, and it was a foul. And it did happen to be when Madrid was getting a counterattack. But I don't know. I think the ref, by giving him a red card, influenced a little bit too much.
I think it's definitely a harsh red. But I will say at the end, Adam CR7 kind of has a point where he's saying like, well, what more do you want him to do? Like Neom knows exactly what he's doing. Like he's not just sticking his arm out to stop the play. Like we've all played. I've played. I know when I'm trying to hurt somebody or I'm trying to hit them hard. Like he knows what he's doing. He just got caught. Yes, I think it's soft, but he's also not innocent in this either. I think he was actually trying to maybe hit him and he just either missed or he didn't hit him as hard as he wanted to. So I think intention also has something to do with this because especially you, Ricky, like I know you know what it feels like to go in hard and hit somebody and hurt somebody, right? I just think he missed him. So I think it was soft. I wouldn't have given the red, especially to change the outcome of a game like that. But I also think that says a lot more about the refereeing in Spain than it does about these two players. But it's bold. But again, like if I was the player, if I was his team, I'm pissed that you even put yourself in that scenario 30 seconds into the game. Yeah. Also, if you're gonna get the red, you might as well do something worth it and barely touch him. Like that's what I don't get.
Like with the Carvajal red card.
Well, it's like if you're gonna get the red, you might as well earn it. You know what I mean?
At least
like
slice him or something. Like
the outcome is the same.
Yeah.
Well,
All
it's kind
right.
of like I know. We can move
It's all
on.
right.
Like it's
I
crazy.
think we've hit this topic enough. And I'm surprised because I feel like there's actually a bit of unanimity in between us. Maybe not so much in the comments, but between us that the red card was a little harsh and did end up playing a factor in the final result. However, sticking within the same game and the same player, I want to hear a little bit about Vinicius' form. Amir, what percentage of Vinicius' top form, would you give him right now?
Ooh, that's a hard question. I would say 65 to 75%.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think the fact that Mbappe came to Madrid actually kind of helped his like form a little bit. I don't know if it helped his mental health, but definitely helped his form. But I would say 65 to 75%.
Micho, what do you think?
Kind of tough to say. I mean, I think we've definitely seen a dip of his form over the last couple of years, but also like the bar was so high, right?
Right.
And I think we put a huge emphasis on it because for the first few years he couldn't finish, right? He was always getting blamed. They were going to let him go, and then he had these monstrous seasons. They win the Champions League, and then he kind of dips again. So it's hard to stay on your top form all the time. And I want to talk about this later, but it's like that's why players like Messi, Cristiano, like they're on such another planet because they held their form for year after year after year after year. And I would say around 65%, like he said. I mean, I think he's still lazy sometimes. I think he messes up a lot. And I think he picks and chooses his moments, and sometimes it just players are also figuring him out, right? He's been around for years. Like they're figuring out slowly how to defend him. He's got to become more dynamic, and I think he's learning that pretty quickly that he needs to start changing things up a little bit.
Ricky, what would you say from where Vinicius was maybe a month ago, where I feel like if we would have asked this question, I think everyone would have said 20-25% of his prime or his best form that we've seen. What would you say has been the biggest improvement in him in the past couple weeks?
Honestly, I think it just comes down to a little bit of confidence. Like you see him get the ball, and we saw it against Getafe. Like he wanted to take players on. He wanted to get fouled. He wanted to get that little highlight reel. Whereas I feel like for a while he kind of started comparing himself in the past a little too much with Mbappe, which is a very dangerous road to go down by because nobody wants to be compared to Mbappe.
So you feel like he finally separated himself from like that competition versus Mbappe.
I think
finally agreed like we're both gonna, if we both want to win, we both got to do.
We both have to perform.
I think, and I think you can blame Xabi Alonso in a good way. I think Xabi Alonso had to humble him a little bit. Purposely had been benching him. Purposely had been giving Mbappe the little star boy. Whereas when Ancelotti was in town, Ancelotti always favored Vini. Always carried him in a pedestal. And I think Xabi Alonso saw how that could be dangerous for the team in a final, in a game that really matters. So I think he brought him down to bring him back up to like a similar level, or at least like in a way that is less of like a players that are on the same team but are like kind of competing against each other. Whereas now it's kind of like they're trying to help each other. You see Mbappe come in and start shoving Getafe players around, protecting Vini, and it's like,
yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I didn't really see much of that last season.
Yeah, no, I agree. I would say like yes, I do think there is a factor between about Vini and Mbappe. Like he finally stopped maybe comparing so much and wanting to be better than him, and just said, hey, like if I want my team to win, I got to do my own thing and not worry so much about him. But for me, the biggest change that I've seen Vini in these past few weeks is his ability to handle hostility in other stadiums. I think the biggest thing that all Madrid fans were getting pissed at him for was just the fact that he went to these other stadiums. They started booing him. They started fouling him, and he started getting in their face. He started yelling at the refs. And I feel like the past few weeks, I finally seen him take a deep breath, calm down, and rather than like getting mad and just lashing out and barking like a mad dog at them, he just kind of like laughs and just kind of like there were multiple videos in this past game where they were talking shit to him. They were like, I think one of the defenders said like, "This is why everyone hates you," and he was literally just like laughing, like just saying like, "Just talk, whatever." And then he went and did this thing, and then after Madrid was already up, the whole stadium started chanting "Vinicius Balón de Playa," and you just see him just laughing, right? Just laughing. Whereas I feel like maybe before he like get in front of them and like would have maybe like done some sort of signal, and all of that was affecting him from like staying focused in the game.
I could see it on Ricky's face. I could see it on your face, Ricky. He's like foaming at the mouth.
I agree, but I also disagree. I think those clips that you're talking about all came from either after he had already, after a lot of Getafe players had already picked up yellow cards because of his actions, possibly even after the red card of Niom and Alex. But before then, like, Vini was getting in their face. Vini was yelling at the fans. Like, Vini was not being that perfect boy that you just described. I think there's sections of the game after he had already found success and that those clips were taken out of. But if you go back and watch the game, he was talking to the fans, not as aggressively as last year. Sure. Do I think he's got a little bit more of a grip on his emotions? Yes, but not to the extent that you painted it at.
That's also like the player he is too. Like I think he takes it overboard a lot, but you need to have that. Like, there's no one on Madrid who's like that. Like, you need to have that person, and it can be detrimental at times. I will give it that, but you need that person who's gonna be that bulldog, who's gonna be that pit bull, and get in someone's face and be like, "Yo, fuck with me." But the problem is he gets himself pissed, and then it affects his play. Versus like, hey, I'm gonna fuck with you too, and I'm gonna embarrass you. And you know what's gonna be even worse? I'm gonna put you on my highlight reel, so when you look at the game, it's gonna be you on the ground. The issue is that Vinicius takes himself out of the game, but having that little bit of fire in you, yelling at players, like, you gotta have that dog in you too. And I think if he uses it and learns, and I think Rodrigo is saying, he's starting to learn how to translate that into a positive for the team. I'm not saying he's perfect, and we're not going to say that either, but he's slowly getting there versus just taking himself out of the game completely. But we're really going to see. I mean, there's going to be more and more games where he's going to have players in his face and top players in his face. So we're going to see.
We talked about this. I don't know if it made it to the video or not. I haven't watched it yet, but like, I personally gave Vini the man of the match, right? His actions directly led to enough yellow cards, enough red cards for it to make a difference for Real Madrid, right?
Enough chaos,
or didn't call. It was enough for me to give him the man of the match. However, if you actually look at his performance on the ball, like how effective he was on the attack, forgetting about the yellow cards, he really didn't do much in the game. He had one shot, and it went like 30 yards away from the goal. That
was my main argument for saying that it didn't make it to the video, by the way. And that was my main argument for saying that maybe I didn't think he was the man of the match. But I got a couple hate comments for saying that I didn't think Vini was man of the match last game.
Well, man of the match doesn't always go to the best player. It doesn't always go to the scorer. I think it goes to who impacted the game the most. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to talk about it, Vini impacted the game. But I think we should be talking about Mbappe's form, because this is something on another level right now.
Well, we're gonna get to Mbappe's form, but before we do that and start talking a little more about the Clasico, I want to just talk a little bit about that Barcelona Girona game. I was watching the game. I was so excited that Barça was gonna potentially drop points, especially right before the Clasico, because we know how important that could be, how significant that could be, especially when Barça is already behind Real Madrid in La Liga. Those dropping an additional 2 points going into the Santiago Bernabeu would have put them in a really difficult position. Amir, how did you feel? How relieved were you, and how are you seeing this Barça right now?
Okay, I was very relieved of the fact that we won that game and using Araujo as a number 9. But this Barca team, I mean, Girona should have scored like 5 goals the first half.
They should have, bro. That first half was nuts. Yeah. They hit like 2 posts, like all these counterattacks.
They hit 2 posts. They broke the offside line, I think, like 65 times in like span of 5 minutes. Like, just insane. And I'm like, what's going on back there? And we have Koundé over there dancing with Kumbaya and like doing like whatever he wants in the front. And yeah, I mean, okay game. Like the second half was a much better team, much more composed, but we're gonna get slaughtered if we play like that against a team with like Mbappe and Vinny, or you play against like someone like Dembele or like Barcola or anybody that can score, not Girona, basically.
Yeah.
Overall, I think I cannot wait for these injuries to be over. So hopefully we can see something better. And then the refereeing, just once again atrocious, just horrible. Just I don't understand it. Like there's like the goal for Kubarsi. What the hell? Why did that not count? I didn't understand that like play at all. And then Araujo, he took off his shirt because I guess he felt relief that he finally did something for Barca in the past 2 years. So
finally did something
he's
good.
like, yes.
He went full Balotelli mode out there, dude. I was like, damn, boy.
I mean, it was good to see, like we had some positives, like Fermin, like he was like so fired up, like so great to see it. Szczesny, okay, yeah, he was fine. But overall, it's not fun to watch Barca. It's almost giving me like PTSD to like
fucking dead.
to like Xavi's time. But yeah.
Yo, Zico is the man of the match for this
Yeah,
episode.
yeah,
Right?
Zico is the viewer of the match
little
so
trophy.
far.
What concerns me with Barca right now is it's the same mistakes they have been making for at least a month, if not 2 months, right? The game against Sevilla could have been a lot worse, and it was just pure attacks. Like, I think it comes into two factors. Teams have figured out how to break down Hansi Flick's offside trap, their high line. They play the ball out wide, and then after playing out wide, they can find the middle again and break that trap. All the goals we concede are the same. All those through balls that they beat us through are the same. It's the same through balls that Mbappe is going to take advantage of because that's what one of his bread and butter attacks are. However, now that Amir also brought up the refereeing in the Barca match, how is this not a red card? A clear elbow to the face of
because his arm was already up, bro. That's why.
yeah.
It's the same argument, baby. Let's get toxic.
And I mean, look, I happen to get the screenshot that I like the most, right?
I bet.
The one where Rashford's foot's already in. However, the initial contact, I will admit, was outside the box. Okay? But it's one of those where the arm continued to make contact up until Rashford's foot's inside. It's kind of similar to the Endrick play where he was getting pulled, and he dragged that defender into the box, and once he got into the box, he dropped. So in my opinion, if we're comparing the way games are being refereed for Real Madrid, if they're being ref the same way for Barcelona, that's a clear penalty or a red card. And so that's really frustrating when we go from one end of the weekend where it's like, oh, Niam gets a red card for something that should never have been a red card. His first time touching Vini, and this time it's
the thing is, Barca's been paying refs for so long,
and it wasn't even called a foul.
Barca's been paying refs for so long that they're finally starting to make up for all they've done to Madrid.
Right, that's why our win percentage is lower with Manzano than anybody else in the whole
game. The game against Barcelona, like that game, I will admit the refereeing was definitely helping Barcelona. I don't know if y'all remember, that was a game where Mallorca got 2 red cards. Shouldn't have never really been red cards. So, like, I'm not saying that it happens every single game, but it's really frustrating when it happens against you. And if that call hadn't been made against Neom, right now, more than likely would be coming into the Clasico 22 points for Barça, 22 points for Real Madrid.
It's just about consistency. If you're going to be bad, just be bad.
All across. Well, Manzano does that. He's bad for Madrid, too. Like, I'm not saying it's only for Barca. He's just a horrible, incompetent ref. Like, that's just the issue with him.
Unfortunately, we can all agree that the refereeing is all over the place. But all I'm gonna say is, I think it's been a couple weekends where we feel like Madrid got favored. I feel like this is definitely a weekend where I can say I feel like Madrid got a little bit favored. But we've definitely had weekends where we felt like Barca got favored. So all in all, it just goes back and forth. It goes back and forth. And at this point, as long as it's staying back and forth, then I think we can all live with each other. if it stops being back and forth, then maybe at that point I'll start getting a little more heated. But at least
back and forth at what ratio?
Look,
2-1, baby.
At this point,
2-1.
This is the referee's fault. This is the referee's fault. So, anyways, I wanna talk about this because I guess it's also kind of the referee's fault. But Hansi Flick is not gonna be in a Clasico. He ended up getting a. Amir, we're about to get demonetized with your ass doing this. Hansi Flick isn't gonna make it. Ricky? How do you see this potentially affecting Barca? Are you worried about that?
I mean, yeah, obviously on top of all the players that are absent, not having your coach, I think it's going to affect us for this reason. I think tactically the team has been with Hansi Flick enough to know what to do. I don't think that's going to make a huge factor. I don't think there's going to be like drastic calls that Hansi Flick can't make. I mean, he's going to have that AirPod in, and he's going to be making the same calls from the stands as he would have been on the field. However, and you can see the way he is as a person, as a coach with Barcelona is completely different than what we saw when he was in Germany. It's completely different than what we saw when he was in Bayern. He has a lot more passion. He has a lot more love for these boys. And I think that's what's going to make the difference. I think the team feeds off of his reactions of his enthusiasm. And I think that's something that's going to be missing in a game where emotions are everything. In a game where he might need to yell at Lamine Yamal and tell him to stay focused, or whoever it is, and that he can't do through the damn AirPod. I don't think they're gonna let Lamine Yamal play with the AirPod. So I think regulating emotions is where Barca's gonna miss him the most.
Yeah, I mean I think it's definitely gonna be a factor. I guess we'll see. We'll talk next in the coming times how this is going to affect, which, by the way, guys, we still need to have our official decision, but be on the lookout because potentially for this El Clasico on Sunday will be the first time that we do a live stream this season, and the goal is that all four of us can make it. So we'll be talking about everything that's going on live. You won't have to wait an extra day to hear our thoughts on it. It's all going to be live streamed for this El Clasico on Sunday. So even another reason for you to hit the subscribe button. Make sure you turn your notification bell on. And why not? If you're already watching this podcast, you may as well just hit the like button. But let's continue to the next thing. There's a lot of injuries. I think we can't deny that, and I feel like that's always going to be a topic when we go into this El Clasico, right? How much are the injuries going to affect Barca? Because yes, I think we can all agree Barca has, if not a couple more injuries, a couple more key injuries, starting with Rafinha. Is he going to make it? They're saying that he's going to make it, but in what kind of form is he going to make it? Lewandowski's going to be out.
Olmo's
going to be out, and there might be another key player that Ferran is also kind of pushing last minute. Yeah. So we'll see. For Real Madrid side, Rudiger's obviously already out, but I feel like he doesn't count so far this season. Huijsen, it's also a bit of a question mark. We're waiting to see if we're going to have a right back. Is Carvajal going to be ready? Is Trent going to be ready? Either way, if they're ready, are they even going to play? Probably not. So is Valverde just going to play at right back? So overall, both teams have some sort of injuries. But my question to you guys, and I want each one of you to answer, Michel, starting with you. I want you to give me one strength and one weakness for let's start with one strength and one weakness that you see in Barcelona leading into this El Clasico, and no using injuries as a weakness for either team.
I think Barca's weakness right now is they, as a whole, have become too complacent in their system. I think they know they're getting picked apart so easily by any team. And it's not even high-level teams. It's any team. And that has to do with the system. It has to do with lack of focus. It has to do with, I don't know, drive. Or I don't know. Like you're talking about Hansi Flick inspiring them. Like, how do you... That's the tough part. It's easy to get hyped up for El Clasico, right? It's easy to get hyped up for Atletico de Madrid. How do you hype up your team to play against Girona, Alaves, XYZ? Like, those are the games that you got to hype your players up. So I don't know if it's a lack of focus, but I would say they've become too complacent in knowing how to play, they need to become more dynamic, which leads me to my strength for them is at the end of the day, they got that little kid there on the right wing who is all dynamic in general. And I think Lamine needs to take over in this game completely for Barca to have a chance. The way that both teams are playing right now, Lamine needs to be the difference.
But guys, how do y'all see Lamine Yamal right now? Is he in good form? Can we say he's in good form? I feel like yes, when he came back from his injury, he had a good couple bursts of moments, and yes, every game he has a good couple bursts of moments. But do you guys see him a little bit off? What do y'all think?
I think it's a matter of like it's hard to compare one player when it's a team sport. The moment you throw in Rafinha and Lewa on top, they all do well. The same thing with Lewa when Lamine Yamal was gone. He wasn't scoring the same amount, so it's hard to like just blame him. And
so you think Lewa missing is part of the reason?
When the reason they were so good is because they knew how the top three played with each other. They fed off each other, and they knew each other's strengths and weaknesses. And right now that we're playing with, Rashford, who's doing an okay job, but he's not doing what Rafinha was doing. And same thing with, even Ferran Torres. Yeah, he's scoring goals, but he's not able to bring the best out of Lamine Yamal. So I don't think it's a factor of Lamine Yamal isn't playing good. I think it's just a factor of the team surrounding him as well.
But he's a special player. It doesn't matter. He's one of those players where he could have 3 bad games in a row and turn it up for the game that he needs to. Like that's either way, he can come in awful form and I'll still be afraid of his performance. Like that's what I'm saying. He's one of those dynamic players where you have to watch him no matter what.
The best players in the world can make something happen any minute. Amir, you're next, but I'm gonna first highlight Zico because he took actually the weakness that I had thought about for Barca. He's saying that their high line is dog shit at the moment. Martinez is really missed, and honestly, that is something that Ricky and I have talked about since the start of the season. Since Íñigo Martinez got announced that he was leaving Barca, we talked about how he was the critical man for their high line. And now we're literally seeing it happen as every single team is beating their offsides trap. They're playing super high. They're not playing good offsides trap, which was the only reason that allowed them to play a high line. For me, I think that's where Madrid can do the majority of the damage against Barca, especially with players like Vini and Mbappe that can make really good runs. If they find a way to time the runs, they have the pace to outrun any of the Barca defenders. So I think that's the main thing. And then he's saying win regardless of form of players, which literally goes to talk about what we were just saying about Lamine Yamal, right? He may not be in the greatest of form, but at the end of the day, if he's one of the best players, he's going to be able to do it.
Do you think Barca plays the high line against Madrid?
I think
that's what I was going to get to, actually.
So go ahead, Amir. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I think they're gonna I think Hansi Flick might change it because he had the history of doing that with Bayern. That like in like some games he would just pull something like random. He hasn't done it with Barca. He's used the high line every game. But I have a feeling he might not use the high line against Madrid because of how much pace this team has. But as far as strength for Barca, I would say like irregardless of the fact that we don't have like our front three besides Lamine, we still have great width and ability to generate like some sort of space in those like places because of having somebody like Lamine and Rashford too. Honestly, I mean Rashford was taking on players, and then you have Fermin and Valde like trying to make space. So I would say that's like creating a pocket of space is a strength for Barca right now. But yeah, the vulnerability, I can't say it. Anyways, you know what I'm saying. Being vulnerable on attack with a high line and playing that aggressive fullback is going to leave so much gaps for somebody like Vini, Rodrigo, Valverde, Mbappe, like literally anybody.
Pace galore, baby. FIFA pace galore.
So if that breaks, it's going to be like a 4-0, 5-0 game. If that because that defensive line is not going to be able to handle anything.
We know Madrid cannot score 5 goals in any game at this point, and they just don't like to do that. They'll always put the gas off.
But that's also because 95% of the games we play is always in the low block.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very, very different. It's gonna be a wide open game. I think the first 20 minutes of the game is gonna be pretty back and forth, energy. And I think once the game starts to settle down a little bit, then we're gonna start to see the game open up. And I think it's gonna be on who finishes their chances. Because Madrid will give them chances. Let's not. No,
Madrid will definitely lose focus a couple times and will concede some things. For me, I think one of Madrid's biggest weaknesses is I think organization wise they're pretty good defensively, but I think when it comes to set pieces and things like that, they don't have that. They lose the organization, and we saw it against Atletico Madrid. I surely hope that Xabi Alonso is going to work it before the Clasico. But in my defense, I'm glad that Lewandowski is not going to be there, because that's Barca's main aerial threat. And without him, maybe Araujo, maybe another defender, but Kunde maybe, I don't know. But Barca overall has a fairly small team, which actually he mentioned that one of the disadvantages for Barca might be the physicality. Midfielders like Pedri and De Jong, who can get overworked way too much in the midfield potentially. But Ricky, I want to hear from you now. Instead of Barca, I want to hear both Madrid strengths and weaknesses in your opinion.
Well, I just want to say that I had the same strengths and weaknesses for Barca as the one Zico mentioned. So that's that. Obviously, we've talked.
I feel like we
about
covered that pretty well. Yeah.
Madrid's biggest strength is Mbappe. Unstoppable form. That turn against Mbappe.
Now we get to talk about Mbappe, Michel.
That turn that he had against Getafe was perfect. Like the finish. Even though the keeper got a hand to it, it was still unstoppable. And
when he's hot, he's
unstoppable for what, 11, 12 games in a row. Scoring streak. I mean, I don't even know what it is, but it's some crazy statistic, something that we haven't seen in years. A player be in that form, and yeah. However, as far as the weakness for Madrid is, I think the game against Juventus is going to be a lot tougher than people think, and I think they're going to come in tired for that Barcelona game. I think mentally, it's you got to compare Barcelona's matchup in the Champions League is a lot easier than what I think Real Madrid will be.
Yeah, I think it's been 10 games that Mbappe has scored consecutively for like club and national team.
Insane.
Yeah. 7 for Madrid, which is crazy. It's insane.
Yeah. It's a crazy scoring streak. That's 100% sure. I'm curious to see when it's going to end. We'll see. I hope
hopefully this weekend
soon. Before we segue, we're coming close to the end of our Clasico talk. Michel, I want to hear your final thoughts that you have maybe on Madrid. Anything else that you want to put out?
Well, obviously talking about Mbappe is crazy. I want to throw in this fact because it shows the level of kind of what I was talking about earlier between Cristiano and Messi. I think Mbappe has 10 goals in 9 games for Madrid, and like we're talking about, like, oh my God, Cristiano had the same amount of games and he had 17 goals. 17 goals in 9 games. It's crazy that it's like Messi and Cristiano, because Messi was doing alienistic things as well. Like the borderline between, you like that? The borderline between elite players at the top of their level and then taking that next step up. I just think it's wild because Mbappe is playing perfect. The complete opposite of what happened last year, and he still ended up with 50 goals. So barring him not like getting injured, which I hope he doesn't, I think this is going to be his Balón de Oro year, and he's starting off strong. The biggest issue with Madrid right now, going into El Clásico, and I think this is the main question that Xabi Alonso has, is it Jude Bellingham or Arda Güler? And I think the answer has to be Arda Güler plays. And you have to either sit Bellingham or you're going to have to figure out a way to get him into the starting lineup. Maybe take off Masantuano, put Güler on the right and have him drift in a little bit. I don't know what he's going to do, but Jude is still chasing his fitness. He doesn't look the same. It's not him as a player. He's just he's not at 100% yet. And Güler comes into the game and he's a difference maker. I think if you sit Güler, it's a massive, massive mistake. And he learned that the hard way against Atletico de Madrid, taking him out.
I think you just hit a point that I think is like the nail in the coffin. I hadn't even thought about that so much, but you're right. Playing Bellingham against Atletico Madrid was the biggest mistake that we highlighted. Has Bellingham improved a little bit? Maybe, and he stayed in Madrid over the international break to kind of catch his form a little more. Did I see him play a little better against Getafe? Sure. But what happened the moment Arda Güler came in, the moment Vini came in? That's when Madrid actually ended up scoring. That's when things happened. I think Masantuano has also been just providing this different kind of caliber that, taking players on, this different kind of fire to do something that Bellingham has been lacking. And I think, Bellingham has been an untouchable player the past couple seasons, but But maybe right now, this is the perfect time to say, hey, I know you're coming back from a tough injury and a long injury, which is fair, but might be time to wake up.
But you also got to earn your place, and that's like the thing about Madrid, barring Cristiano. Like that's the problem with every player. Like look what happened with James Rodriguez, right? Like he was at the top of in the world is after the World Cup, he gets hurt, and you got to earn your place back. And I think this is when we're gonna see the real Jude, because it happens like this in Madrid all the time. When you come back from injury, you got to earn your spot, because everyone, if you look down the line of the bench, everyone is a superstar in their own right. Every one of these players is a starter on most clubs in the world. So you got to earn your place back. And if you're not in form, you're not in form. Now, I think there's a way that they can both play, but that's the big decision that he has this week.
I think Camavinga played well this game next to Tchouaméni, but his game wasn't perfect. I would keep Jude as a center mid. Jude can defend well. He's got a big presence.
Okay.
He's clutch in these games. I think sitting him down would be a mistake. If I were Madrid, I would have Tchouaméni and Jude both playing kind of almost like a double pivot. Obviously, Jude is going to have a little bit more freedom. Let Arda Güler be the cam. Let Arda Güler be the Osil. Keep that. But I think Jude is still. I would play him above Camavinga.
Okay,
I think you said Franco. I mean, I agree with Ricky. I think there's a way that they can do it, and I think he should. I'm not saying they should sit Jude, but Arda Güler needs to play, without a question.
Okay, well, that'll be one of the things we look forward to seeing that lineup release in El Clásico, seeing who both Barça and Madrid are going with. I'm curious to see Barca's front three.
Barca's striker.
It's going to be Lamine Yamal, Rashford, and
Rashford a striker.
No, I mean I'm thinking
Ferran and Leo are both injured.
But I'm thinking Ferran might make it back. I don't know, man. I don't know. We're
gonna see.
I think we might see Rashford as a striker, and then
I think so.
We'll see what happens then, you guys in the Champions League.
What, Bargy?
Yeah.
And then Fermin on the left.
Oh, Fermin. I forget about him.
Yeah.
Well, with that, I think we're gonna conclude our El Clásico preview. I think we covered everything that there is to cover. We'll be reading you guys' comments on El Clásico in the coming minutes. But I do want to switch gears to the Champions League, because this is happening tomorrow. We can't forget the biggest competition in the world. Like we said, guys, the season is fully in motion. El Clásico for Real Madrid, they got Juventus, then Barça, then Liverpool. I mean, this is Real Madrid's one of the biggest weeks of the season, honestly. I'm not saying this week makes or breaks your season like it could at the end of the season, but this week has the potential to really set Real Madrid on a positive or in a negative direction. And that is exactly one of the biggest games in this match day 3. Real Madrid is a headliner, which they haven't been one of the headliner teams so far in the Champions League. Michel, what do you think of this Juventus team? Tell us a little bit about them.
I honestly am going to disagree with Ricky. I don't think it's going to be as difficult of a game as we think it is. Juventus is on a 6-game no-win streak. They've been tying a bunch. They've been losing. I think they're like 7th or 8th place in Serie A. Like, of course, they have good players, but like, are they in form? Like, who do they actually have? I think they're playing against Borussia Dortmund, which they're a good team. I'm not going to disrespect them, but also Borussia Dortmund, we're not going to consider them elite. And Juventus let 4 in against them. Like, I think they have decent players, but Madrid should walk away. This should be, I'm not saying a comfortable win, but Juventus is, like I got it saying, I think they're very average. I think we're respecting the badge a little too much. I think this is one of those games where Madrid can't go in scared. You got to go in and walk them down and let the world know, especially Barça, hey, we're not coming to fuck around. I think Juventus is very mid right now, and I think if Madrid approaches the game the right way, it should be a 3-1 victory.
Okay.
3-1 victory or 4-1 like that special final.
That's right.
Couple of years ago, baby. Maybe we'll see. Gosh,
Mbappé bicycle,
Casemiro goal, the banger from Casemiro from so far out. Oh, the Juve fans will never forget us. The Juve fans will never forget us, and it's gonna be so good to see them again. It's honestly been some time, but I agree. I mean, Juve lost 2-0 this weekend against Como. I think if
Nico Paz, baby.
Huh? Nico Paz
Paz.
put him in the place, exactly. Madrid, he's already giving him a taste of Madrid. I think if I try to think about who their best player is, for some reason I'm thinking of the Turkish Yildiz. I think he's been on fire. I've seen him have some good performances in the Champions League and in Serie A, but in the Champions League this season, he's already scored a couple bangers. That would be the main guy that I would watch out for. So I agree. I mean, the thing is, it's hard to disrespect big badges at times, but you're right. If we look at Juventus' form, Madrid needs to be winning this, especially considering that they're playing at home. If I'm not mistaken, Madrid is playing at home, so it's a must win for Real Madrid. Whereas maybe the Liverpool game next match day may not be a must win.
And Liverpool is playing mid too.
We'll talk about Liverpool in a second. Don't you worry. Ricky or Amir, do you guys have any thoughts on this game? Any score predictions? Anything?
I'm gonna say 4-1 Madrid actually. Yeah,
He's already converting.
I'll go 2-0. I'll go 2-0 Madrid.
Okay. Well, we have a unanimous decision on
Look at our verbiage today. Someone give us a Duolingo sponsorship or something, bro, because we're doing something right.
Everyone but Amir.
Yeah, I can't even talk normally. Don't give me any sponsorship.
Yeah. Well, versatility. What were you saying? I don't even know anymore.
Vulnerability.
Vulnerability. That's right.
There it is.
Jesus Christ. So that's Madrid's game for the Champions League. On the other hand, we have Barcelona playing against Olympiacos. Amir, what do you have to say about Olympiacos?
They've been doing well in the Greek league, but it's the Greek league. Like nobody watches that thing for a reason. They've been doing great actually. They've scored 16 goals and like they've won 5 games and only lost 1 in the past 7 games. But they came to the Champions League and lost 2-0 to Arsenal. I'm hoping they're not gonna be the upset for Barca. But
are they on 0 points right now? Sorry. Are they on 0 points in the Champions League? Have they lost both games?
I believe so. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
I think they're 1 point. They tied 1 game.
1 point. Okay. I thought it was 0. But the good thing is they've never won a European away game in Spain. So they have lost 14 games.
Dude, you always be coming up with these facts. Who is working for you? Who do you have on your
ESPN.
payroll?
He's got ESPN right up here, bro.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I think they're gonna be like they're gonna play defensively and compact and like try to like kind of keep up with Barca's like high tempo. Hopefully they won't expose us like every single team has done for the past 3 weeks. But it's a possibility. But I think I'm gonna give the edge to Barcelona. I'm gonna say probably 2-0.
Now my question is,
that's what I meant pretty much.
Is this a trick game? Is Barca the favorite? Yes, of course they're going to be the favorite every single week. But El Clasico plus the injuries combination, could this create enough of a confusion to where Barca can go into this game distracted? Try to make some rotations. These rotations aren't good enough. Olympiacos, I think they're playing at home. So they got their fans around them and they catch Barca off guard and maybe get a couple points out of them when Barca already is coming off the loss to PSG. But I mean, Barca cannot. I mean, can they afford to maybe drop a couple more points? Sure. The rest of their schedule is still fairly easy. But realistically, Barca should not be dropping any points this weekend. And to what extent is El Clásico going to affect Barca? Ricky, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think this game is a must-win game, and you're right. Obviously, the players are thinking of a Clasico right now, so it's Flick's job to keep them focused. But I mean, let's be honest. All those teenagers they already got their emotions up, ready for that Madrid game. I think it will affect them. I do think so, but I still think Barcelona will come out with a win.
Do you, Ricky or Amir? Is Valde going to play?
I think we might play Gerard Martin for this game. Actually, he's gonna keep because he even pulled out Pedri and Lamine Yamal during the Girona game to give them rest. And so I have a feeling he's probably gonna play Gerard Martin and then Christensen in the back with Araujo or Eric Garcia maybe. And Kubarsi is gonna sit this one out. So
interesting.
I don't know about rotating much. With all the injuries we have, we already have enough. rotation happening. I wouldn't rotate that much. I would still play our top team. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got some fatigue from international break, but I mean it's a Champions League game at the end of the day.
I mean, I think Barça. This is where the depth matters, and I think Barça should be able to play two games back to back with a strong team. And I think this is a week to do it because I think this win is important. I think it matters a lot, and it could affect their morale a lot going into the Clasico if they don't win.
And we're coming up against Elche in the following week, so that's where we take that break.
That's where you do the rotations. Before we transition from these two games and talk about the other top games of this week's Champions Leagues, and then finally end up with the power rankings, Michel, do you have any final thoughts on this game?
Super quick. I think it applies for both Madrid and Barça for this Champions League. They're both the favorites. They both got to do what they got to do. The issue with both teams is they can't just go in there and walk and assume that they're going to walk into that victory, because that's exactly what happens. And then you end up in a deep game. And then whereas Madrid or Barça kills the game in that first half, you can pull out all of your players that you want for a Clasico, right? Same thing with Madrid. What you can't have happen is oh, well, we're Madrid, we're Barça, we're going to walk in here and win. Yeah. And that's why it's the 80th minute and you're down 1-0. You know what I mean? They both got to go in there, bust ass, work hard, kill the game in the first half, pull out your players, and then we'll see what happens in the Clasico.
It's the Champions League. There's no easy games. There's no easy wins at the end of the day.
Yeah.
All right, guys. This is probably one of the games that we've been looking forward to the most this season. A game that has a potential to change a lot and back up a lot of either one or the other's arguments in when it comes to our power rankings. Arsenal versus Atletico Madrid at the Emirates Stadium. Boy, oh boy, Amir, who takes this game?
Arsenal. I'm gonna say it without a doubt. Just the way they've been playing, great team. I love Mikel Arteta. Cannot stand Simeone. Giving it to Arsenal. So
shout out to Cisco Hashi, by the way.
I think Arsenal will take it, but I don't think it'll be that easy. I think it's gonna be a classic Atletico Madrid. It's a 1-1. And they slip up on that PK, and it's a two-touch type of. No, I think it'll be a late-minute winner for Arsenal. That's more of an Atletico Madrid mistake than an Arsenal merit. But I do, even though Arsenal can definitely press, I do think both teams are gonna, especially Atletico's gonna park the bus.
I want to hear from everyone down in the comments who you think this is gonna win. By the way, I want to see those comments rolling in. So we got two Atleticos. Ricky doesn't think it's going to be that easy. Michel, what do you think?
Listen, I want everybody in the comments to hear me right now. The Brothers of Destruction right here on top of me and to my right, somehow, some way, love Atletico Madrid a little too much. Arsenal is going to walk through them. I say it's going to be 3-0. It's 3-0 Arsenal.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn.
I mean, I was gonna say that at this point I'm going to start sounding like I'm an Atletico Madrid fan or something, but I think
I know. I'm not surprised. We're going to see what happens in the power rankings. They're going to be in your top
I
five.
am the only one here that's saying that Arsenal doesn't win, and that's coming off of someone that's been protecting Arsenal all season long. So that's two teams that I feel like I've been defending coming against each other, and I think Atletico's gonna upset Arsenal and take some points away from them. So we'll see.
You were correct about one upset already, so we'll see.
Exactly. Let's see what Ika is saying. It's going to be a very boring game in which Arsenal will win 1-0 or 2-1. We'll see. I mean, Atletico can make games very boring. But hey, the game against Madrid was far from boring, I guess you could say.
That was our fault, though.
Yeah, whatever. So, seismically, Atletico won against PSG last season with 3 shots on target and 2 goals. Atletico also got destroyed by PSG in the Club World Cup by, it was 4-0. So, I mean, Atletico can just be very hit or miss. Okay, so we have our predictions for those. How about Leverkusen versus PSG? I mean, it should be a PSG win, right? They're getting their players back. I think Ousmane Dembélé might be back, and Barcola too. Doué, I don't know. I think we have a PSG fan actually watching, so I want to hear from you. Oh, there he is. PSG.
Yes, Cisco Hashi.
Cisco Hashi. There you go. So, quick, who do we think?
PSG.
Has to be PSG.
I'm gonna say PSG, but I would love to see Leverkusen beating them.
Yeah.
It's not the same Leverkusen as it was, with
Last year.
Xabi Alonso, and I think that's where
Hurts, etc.
Wirtz is gone. There's a lot of players that are gone. So I think, I would also give it to PSG. They just continue dominating so far in the Champions League.
I'm waiting
Next
for you
game.
to put up the real game. No, not even this one. All right, we're gonna see.
I'm saving the best for last. Don't you worry.
You better be saving the best for last. All right, let's go.
I think this one is just an interesting one because we get to see City against another La Liga team, Villarreal, who is often can make games complicated for both Barça or Madrid, especially when they play La Ceramica at home. I mean, should City be winning this game? I think, of course, but it could be an interesting one. What do y'all think?
I think if any of the games are going to be an upset, I think this is the one.
Ooh.
City has been iffy.
Yeah, shaky. But I think I'm giving the edge to City again.
I mean, City should win. I still think if I'm going to put my money on it, City's going to win. But I don't think it's going to be a 4-1, 4-2. I think it's going to be a 1-0, 2-1, or Villarreal squeaks it out.
I don't know, man. I think City's gonna destroy them personally. I feel like Villarreal, even though they can make games complicated for Madrid or Barça, they also tend to shit sell sometimes. And Haaland is coming Haaland right now, 23 goals in 11 games and 3 assists. Are you that is better than Mbappe at this point? He's in crazy form. I think things for Pep are finally starting to gel a little bit more. They're getting more wins consistently. I think they could actually destroy Villarreal. We'll see. But yes, we do have our final game that I'm highlighting for this week's Champions League. Michel! Michel's favorite team, not Real Madrid, but Marseille, the current first team in Ligue 1. What's going to happen here? Who has to win?
Definitely Sporting.
Oh my God! Such cap. That's okay. I'm expecting Barça fans to be delusional. Listen, if Marseille takes this game, I don't want to hear anything. They gotta move up significantly in our power rankings because they haven't lost since they got beaten by Madrid, which that's not a shame on anybody losing to Madrid. They're first place. I think one of you guys can pull up the actual league standings. Look at their goal differential as well. They're not winning 1-0. They're scoring goals. They beat PSG. They beat the team that just beat or tied PSG, if I can recall correctly. They're playing well. And I think this game on the big stage, a Champions League night against a decent team in Sporting, I think if they show up and handle business, we got to respect Marseille. I mean, you don't become first place and you don't beat PSG if you're not a good team.
I pulled up the standings and their goal difference is plus 14 compared to PSG's plus 8. Impressive. 21 goals for compared to PSG's 16 goals for. I mean, it deserves merit and applause.
Definitely. Greenwood coming off of 4 goals. Poker. I mean, never mind.
Wait, Rocks, put the
in.
stats in the middle if you can, please. I put them in there. Nope, not that one.
Wait, hold on. There you go. It's kind of hard to see. But yeah, you see Marseille first place with 18 points, PSG second with 17, and there you can see 21 goals in favor. So, Marseille's definitely having a good season as we could have expected with the signings we had. But Michel, I think it's just this is glory for you, man. Glory, absolutely.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it even killed this week, and what's it called? We'll see what happens this week in Champions League. But if they do win and they win in clear fashion, I think it's time we start giving them the flowers they deserve.
Well, speaking of the flowers that they deserve, it's time that we move to the final segment, and we don't have a lot of time today for this, so there's not going to be a whole lot of movement maybe. But here is where our power rankings currently stand. Real quick, we're going to review each team's score. PSG tied 3-3 this weekend. They're showing a couple weaknesses here and there. Ultimately, I I don't know if it's enough, them tying in a Ligue 1 game to really drop them off. Like, I still feel like they beat Barça. If they want to beat anyone, they can, and they still have a lot of missing players. So for me, it'd be hard to move them off. Arsenal is coming off a 1-0 win, so they're staying consistent. Barça won barely. Bayern won. Real Madrid won. Man City won. Liverpool, however, lost their fourth game in a row. Atletico won their game. I mean, are we pushing Liverpool back down?
We have to. There's four game losing
streak. Are you putting Atletico Madrid over Liverpool?
No, I don't. Not at all.
He goes, no.
Not at all. I think if anything, they stay stagnant.
Marseille should go above them.
No, but Marseille definitely should not be in 10th. I'm just going to put that out right now. But Liverpool's got to go down. But they're a 4-game losing streak, and they're also losing bad. And Mo Salah is not
United, bro. To United,
exactly. I mean, I think 7 through 10 can use a swap. At Inter Milan, I actually think Inter Milan has been playing pretty well.
They won. They've been doing their homework quietly.
Atletico Madrid bore me, but I guess we have to really wait to see what happens after this Arsenal game. I think Marseille has to move up, but maybe we leave them there right now.
We're going to wait to see how they do this in the Champions League a little more. Because Chelsea also won their game 3-0. They're bringing it back. We've already dropped them after they had their losing streak, but they're finding a little more consistency. So I still want to see a little more differences there. Ricky or Amir, would you guys make any changes this week?
Yeah.
I just want to put Marseille in 7th for
I don't think.
No, not 7th, bro.
I don't think it's
not
that
10.
crazy with how well Harry Kane has been playing. I don't think it's that crazy to put Bayern above Barça.
Yeah, I would say Bayern is probably 3 or 2.
Okay, I do.
And then
I do kind of like that.
And then we can leave 4 or 5 for Clasico.
Okay. There we go.
I'm
putting Bayern at 3rd.
I would put Madrid as 4 as of.
Yeah, but we'll leave them tied for now. We'll let the Clasico decide.
I guess Madrid is no. We're switching them. Screw y'all. Madrid is ahead of Barça in La Liga, so.
I mean, if we're talking current form, Madrid is playing better than Barça is.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, by the end of this year, and I want everyone in the comments to clip this moment right now, and I want you to I know you're a huge fan of the podcast, and you're always watching. I want you guys to write this. By the end of the year, we will get Marseille into the top 6. I don't want to say 5. They will hold the 6th place ranking in the world. I promise you right now. You guys were laughing at me when I talked about Marseille 3 to 4 weeks ago, and look at them now. They're in 1st place in Ligue 1. Hey, I'm just saying. I mean, I love your picture, but this is the comments that I'm talking about. I love this activity, but keep the same energy when we see them later on in the thing. I'm not saying they're going to win the Champions League, but if they win Ligue 1, watch. And I want you guys to remember this comment. Go back to episode 6. Exactly. We're the VAR Check Podcast for a reason. We will go back and we will see this. Keep the same energy. Marseille's going to win the fucking league. Let's go. Madrid and Marseille.
With that being said, we're reaching our limit for the podcast. This has been the longest podcast that we've done so far, and I think it deserves to be the Clasico preview. I mean, why not? So guys, the main question here, why Sen King, and I know you're an OG fan, will there be a live stream for a Clasico? The answer is yes. The first ever live stream of the season is coming. So if you don't have the notification bell turned on, if you haven't subscribed, then this is your moment, because you're not going to want to miss the live stream for the Clasico. Hopefully we can have Michel, hopefully we can have Amir, and have an absolute party enjoying this game. It's gonna be a lot of fun. With that being said, Amir, Ricky, Michel, I'm going to open it up to you guys one final time. If you have one final sentence, one final statement before we finish this podcast once and for all, this episode once and for all.
Hey, don't forget to update the fantasy team.
Yeah.
Good reminder.
Visca Barça, per usual.
Keep that same energy.
Oh, we will. Oh, we will.
All right, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for all of y'all that stay tuned. The majority of the podcast. If you're just not reaching, run it back. And with that being said, we'll see you tomorrow and Wednesday after the Champions League, and obviously this weekend for the Clasico. Bye bye and peace out.